At the time that I came out as lesbian in 1973, that was very early days in the depathologization of lesbianism. I was still treated as sick. I was in a mental hospital. They tried to cure me, despite the fact that the DSM by that time, in 1973, was just removing lesbianism as a disorder in and of itself, although it stayed as a disease in the World Health Organization classification of diseases, I think until in the 1990s still. It was very late. So I had been through the experience of attempted cure, of my lesbianism being treated as a passing fad, a teenage fashion, something that I would mature out of. I haven't. And when I did my undergraduate degree, my main observation at that point as an undergraduate was that lesbians were left out, that insofar as we studied people at all, which was rarely, it was mostly rats, that they were heterosexual people by presumption. When I went back to do my PhD, it was 1980, and by then there had been the stirrings of a lesbian and gay psychology in the United States, and there had been some early publications that I had read and that I was aware of and that I was incredibly critical of and very unhappy about. So those publications were mostly proving that lesbians and gay men were just as good as straight people. We were just as healthy. We made just as good mothers, and our children turned out to be straight, just like straight people's children. If we were lesbians, we were just as feminine as straight women, or could be. So there were lots and lots of tests showing we were just like them, basically, apart from our sexual orientation. And I did not find this an acceptable way to go. I mean, nothing in my background meant, nothing in the way I'd been brought up by a radical feminist mother meant that I wanted to be just like ordinary straight people. And I did see lesbianism as part of my feminist agenda, as offering some challenges to the ideas of femininity, to the ideas of what a good woman was, to the ideas of how we were supposed to be as women, as wives, as mothers. And I wanted my lesbianism to be part of my feminism, not to suddenly result in this claim that I was just as good as straight women. So my PhD was really challenging in many ways the newly developed liberal, humanist, feminist and lesbian and gay psychology that was emerging in the United States, and tried to set a more radical agenda for this country. And that led to the thesis that I wrote was turned into a book, The Social Construction of Lesbianism, which very much took issue with liberal humanist psychology of the time, challenged the way in which the psychology of lesbian and gay issues was developing, and sought to politicize psychology.